My name is Vinay Bhagat and I'm Convio's founder and chief strategy officer. In this year's report, we continue to see that online marketing grows strongly. At a macro level, online fundraising is growing at around 16% a year. Email files have grown around 17%, and we continue to see healthy rates in email click-through and open rates and the other fundamentals of online marketing success. There are a few key observations that we've added to this year's benchmark report. Most interestingly to me is the focus on monthly giving. We see that across the benchmark, monthly or recurring giving now accounts for about 6.9% of online revenue and 18.8% of all gifts or transactions. That's a very healthy growth over 2010. The growth rate is almost 40% in that form of giving, which is more than 2x the overall benchmark in online fundraising growth. And that's terrific to see because monthly giving programs yield more loyal donors and more economic fundraising overall. A second big insight we added to this report was the impact of online giving on new donor acquisition. A metric that we added was what percentage of revenue and gifts come from first-time online donors. And 37% of online revenue is actually coming from first-time donors, which shows what we've always suspected, that online philanthropy is a great way to recruit and acquire new donors to an organization. Benchmarks provide a useful guide to calibrate your own performance. And there are two primary ways that we can help you compare yourself against your peers in this report. One is by vertical segment. You can look at your vertical classification, find organizations in your same vertical cohort and compare your results against those. The other way to compare your results is based upon your scale as measured by email file. So whether you have less than 10,000 email addresses or more than 250,000 email addresses, you can compare yourself against organizations with similar email file bands. In this report, we see that online advocacy programs continue to grow at a healthy rate, that the number of advocates on file grew at around 17%, and of the organizations that engage in advocacy, about 12% of their total email file or population do engage in advocacy, which shows that there's a willingness and a propensity amongst a good portion of people to actually engage politically. I've actually gone back and looked at the last 5 or 6 years of online fundraising results and compared them to the rate of growth of retail e-commerce. And what you can see is that while there are slight variances by year, over the last 5 to 6 years, the rate of growth in online fundraising has basically kept pace with the rate of growth in retail e-commerce. At a macro level, we continue to see that online marketing represents the fastest growing channel in terms of fundraising, but it also represents a robust channel for constituent engagement. Email open rates continue to work at healthy levels. Click-through rates seem to be continuing at similar rates as well. And again, at a macro level, revenue is growing at a very healthy pace. So those fundamentals are great to see that they continue in that forward fashion. This year, again, we've introduced these new metrics around new donor acquisition and monthly giving, and they point to the important phenomenon that online marketing represents a great channel for new donor acquisition, and that monthly giving represents a great amount of potential here for the US philanthropy market. It's growing at a rate of almost 40%, and it represents, and there's still significant upside for US nonprofits to mirror their counterparts in countries like Canada and the UK. Ultimately though, benchmarks are a guide and not a prescriptive view of what you should be doing. Every organization has its own nuances according to differences in mission or differences in marketing approach, but benchmarks can form a useful guide.